What is up, people? The internet, it is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And today, we got some major news. I know, I said I wanted to avoid talking about 2024 as much as possible. But with their major news out of 2024 elections, I gotta discuss them. Because not to discuss them is kind of against the point of this channel. We got to discuss the 2024 North Carolina gubernatorial election because we got some major news. Attorney General of North Carolina, Josh Stein, who is a Democrat, has just declared his candidacy in hopes of replacing Democrat Governor Roy Cooper in the great state of North Carolina. This is the first major announcement. Now, we're not going to really discuss Josh Stein because, quite frankly, it's just Roy Cooper 2.0, kind of a fake moderate. Yes, he's more moderate than most Dems, but that's not saying much. We're not discussing that today. A lot of the focus, in my opinion, on this race has to be on the Republican side. Because, in my opinion, Stein's not the best candidate. You look at his past, he won kind of off of national environments. That's kind of his path to victory. But point is, we're going to ignore the Democrat side. Josh Stein is more than likely going to be the Democrat nominee. All the major candidates that could have ran, they're not running. The major focus for a lot of people is on the Republican side because at this point in time, it looks like there's one specific candidate on the Republican side. And to say he's controversial is an understatement. Now, I have my opinions on Mark Robison. You know him, the big dude from North Carolina, one of my favorite politicians in America. Look, I understand there are some statements he shouldn't have said back in 2020, but people are overblowing some of these statements he made on abortion, and he's unelectable because of it. No, we're going to discuss why, in my opinion, he isn't unelectable, and why these comparisons to somebody like Mastriano is just pure stupid. Now, before we continue, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. You guys know what to do. Just for 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. So I hope you join today. All right, everybody. All right. Let's get into it. So, like I said in the intro, Mark Robison is one of my favorite politicians in America. Now, I understand a lot of people don't like what he said about certain issues. Fine. But to say he's unelectable because of it? Look, he just flat out says what he believes in. That's Mark Robison in a nutshell. But the thing is, let's discuss these Mastriano comparisons of Robison, because this is kind of the dumbest thing I've heard. You can make an argument all you want about Robison, not be able to win. But to say he's Mastriano 2.0, he's going to lose by 15 points or anything like that, that's stupid. That is beyond stupid. You know why? The first thing, you're comparing two completely different states. Pennsylvania and North Carolina ain't the same state. Far from it. Pennsylvania isn't that socially conservative. It's kind of just socially moderate, the AKA, they don't really care about social issues that much. And what happened with Mastriano was two major things. Number one, he had no name recognition. This is a big deal. If nobody knows who you are, and then you have a Democrat spend $50 million on you, attacking you for being a racist, want to jail doctors, all this other stuff. If you have no way to counteract that, if you have no name recognition beforehand, people are just going to think, that dude wants to jail doctors. I'm probably not going to vote for him. The difference between Mark Robison, he's the lieutenant governor of North Carolina. He's already won a statewide election. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, this is a lieutenant governor election. This doesn't mean anything. Look, lower level statewide offices, they don't automatically mean they translate to electoral victories. But this is a big difference between Mastriano and Robison. Robison has name recognition. Sure, it's not as, 100%, but the vast majority of voters, they probably know who Mark Robison is. All right? He already has name recognition within the state of North Carolina. He's won it. And these same people that are touting Kimberly Yee in Arizona because she won a straight state treasurer election by 15, it's like, so you're telling me voters care more about a state treasurer election than they do about a lieutenant governor race? It's either they care about all low-level statewide races the same, or they don't care about any of them. My opinion, they care about it somewhat. It's not as important as the governor or Senate elections, but still, it is fairly important for the state. The fact of the matter is, Mark Robison has that name recognition Mastriano did not have. So, that's kind of the big reasons Mastriano kind of went down in flames. And plus, he never got any help from the Republican Governor Association. Never did once. Doug Ducey's absolutely useless. Mark Robison, on the other hand, I think he's going to get more help. Reason being, there's less competitive governor elections in 2024, and you have Kim Reynolds running it, who is already 50 times better than the clown show that was Doug Ducey beforehand. So these were the two main issues that Mastriano and Robison had. Name recognition and funding. Robison, he has both. Most likely the second one, because it is a different election cycle. We just got to see. But either way, Mark Robison, his past statements is going to be a litmus test to see, do these past statements truly matter to voters? Which I don't think it will. In a state like North Carolina, it's still fairly socially conservative. And Mark Robison, he's been getting bashed by the media for 4 years now. And we've seen some of his approval ratings, they've stayed the same. So it's like, you're telling me these attacks on, how he called homosexuality filth and all this other stuff, you're telling me that hasn't worked yet. But suddenly it will now work. And I don't think so. Now again, I'm not denying Robison, he needs to stay on focus. He needs to keep his rhetoric, my opinion, the same. Because the way his rhetoric's perfect. If you actually listen to when he speaks like a freaking pastor in North Carolina. He doesn't speak like a politician. He doesn't have these crappy boomer-con lines. He's talking from his heart and as a pastor. When you, again, listen to what he says. He has a unique speaking ability that can get pretty much anybody that actually listens to what he says to agree with him. He does it in a perfect fashion. Now again, he needs to focus on issues that do matter to voters. Another issue with Mastriano is, I don't know what his campaign was for the final 2 months. Was it on school choice? Was it on critical race theory? COVID? That's a big issue. Mark Robison, he needs to focus on issues that do matter to the voters of North Carolina. And again, he can keep the rhetoric the same, just put a focus on, I don't know, I guess, abortion and talk about it in a perfect fashion like he does. We just gotta see. But these talks that Mark Robinson's going to be, Mastriano 3.0 is absurd. You're talking about two completely different states, two completely different circumstances, two completely different national environments, and two different party leadership. You had Kim Reynolds in charge now. Back then you had Doug Ducey. And Kim Reynolds is 10 times more competent than Ducey. So we just got to see what happens. But these talks that he would lose by 15 is absurd. When, in 2020, when you count for the national environment, performed the best for any Republican for a lieutenant governor's race this century. But we just got to see, and again, I understand there's a lot of discussion about would his past statements hurt him. We just got to see. But with North Carolina being a southern socially conservative state, I mean, guys, back in 2012, just 2 years before they made gay marriage legal, they had a referendum that the anti-gay marriage vote won with 70%. Again, I know it's 2012, but still, from 10 years later, it's not going to be, 10% are against gay marriage. It's probably going to be closer to 30, 40%. So yeah, with all that in mind, we just got to see what happens if it does hurt him. I personally don't think so. These talks that he would get crushed by 15 are just nuts. If he does lose, it'll be similar to Kerry Lake margins. Very close. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.